Hey everybody, I have the OPI summer collection for 2017. It's California Dreaming. I got mine from polishpick.com. I'll put a link to their website right here, but it's a great place to buy OPI polishes, even new ones they have for about $5.50 a bottle, and they have a flat shipping rate of $8. Check them out. You can also get Essie polishes on there as well, so it's just a really good site. Okay, let's talk about the collection. I love the theme of this collection. I love the idea of them having you picture going to the beach, going up in the mountains, or having a road trip. And the names are really fun. I think these are some of the funnest names that I've seen from OPI, and that's saying a lot because they really have awesome names. It's an interesting collection as far as the color spectrum goes. It definitely has a lot of reds, orange, and pinks. It also has a few nudes. They're mostly creams. There's a few shimmers, and then there's a handful of jelly polishes, which I've kind of been craving lately, so that was kind of a fun surprise, and some of them go quite well with the names, I think. Let's go ahead and talk about the collection. The first one we have is Feeling Frisco, and this is just a nude. It maybe has a touch of peach. I think maybe it just appears that way on my skin tone, but it's really pretty. I thought that there might be dupes within the OPI line. I don't have any in my personal collection. I'm sure there is somewhere along the line. It's not a super original nude polish. Essie Topless and Barefoot is quite close to this. I haven't tested them on my fingernails, but in the bottles they're super close. So I'll have comparisons on my blog. In a few days I'll be looking for that, and I'll compare those on my fingers. The formula is pretty good. I thought it would be opaque in 2 coats, but it took about 3. I think that's going to depend on your application, but it does have that kind of slightly crelly formula, which I like. You're going to have to use more coats when you get a polish like that, but I don't mind that. So let's go ahead and get into the swatch for this one. And here's the first coat of Feeling Frisco, and the formula is really great. It is. It's just slightly sheer. I'm going to do the first coat here and then move on to the second. It's definitely going to need a second. And even with this second coat, I noticed after when I was shooting pictures that it was a little bit sheer. So you might need 3 depending on how you apply the polish. But I think you might be able to get away with 2. And that's 2 coats of Feeling Frisco. And then we have Barking Up the Wrong Sequoia. I love that in reference to the sequoia trees. This is a muted peach color. It's really pretty, and I wasn't sure how it would look on my nails, but I quite liked it. It was quite flattering. It's definitely a unique color. I don't know that there's any like this. The only one that I had to compare it to is the next one that I'm going to talk about, and that one's quite unique too. So this was a fun surprise to see something that was different, and I think this is going to look really good when you have a tan in the summer. So I was really surprised by this one, and I liked it quite a bit. And let's get into the swatch for it. And here's the first coat of Barking Up the Wrong Sequoia, and it has a very similar formula to Feeling Frisco, and so I did it a little bit thicker this time, but as you can see it's a little bit streaky after that first coat, so I'm going to go ahead and do a second. And I did notice that it did have better coverage with doing just a little bit thicker coats. And that's 2 coats of Barking Up the Wrong Sequoia. And the next one we have is Excuse Me Big Sir. Don't confuse this with Essie's Excuse Me Sir from their latest spring collection. They're nothing alike, but they have very similar names. This one is a gorgeous muted rosy dusty pink, and it's beautiful. I was surprised about this one too. It's really soft and pretty, and again, I think this would look really good when you have a tan, and it's quite unique. The tone is close to Gouda Gouda 2 Shoes. That one's a little bit darker and maybe a little more red toned, but that's the only one that I could find to compare it to, and again, I'll have that on my blog. So this one was quite unique, and it surprised me. I love when I find unique polishes, and this one definitely is. So let's get into the swatch for it. Did you guys hear Siri go off? She randomly turns on, and she just recorded me saying that whole thing. Crazy, crazy fun. And here's the first coat of Excuse Me Big Sir. It does have kind of a thick formula. It doesn't pool in your cuticle area though. It's almost opaque in one. Actually, you might be able to get away with just one, but I'm going to go ahead and do a second one. You just need to be careful when polishes are thick like this that you don't have any areas that pool. And that's 2 coats. Okay, this is time for a NAPA, and this is the one I was most excited about. Online, it looked like a really strawberry color, and I've been really into strawberry reds, but it's not the way that I thought it was when it showed up. I was like, oh, that's it, huh? It's more of a soft coral, but actually it's quite bright when you put it on the nail. It's really, really pretty and quite unique. I thought it would be so close to Essie Cute as a Button, but it's a little bit softer. It's not quite the same. That one has a little bit more red in it. And I think this is one of my favorites from the collection. It's really, really pretty, and again, would look awesome with a tan. So I love the summer theme. I love that they stuck with polishes that are gonna look good in the summertime, and they're just fun, and this one's quite unique too, so I was pleasantly surprised by that. And I'm definitely going to be putting this one on first, I think, out of all of them. And this is Time for a NAPA, and let's get into the swatch for it. And here's the first coat of Time for a NAPA. This is my favorite color so far. It's really so beautiful. And it has a pretty good formula. It's a little bit crelly, a little bit sheer on that first coat, so I'm going to go ahead and do a second. And with the second, I get pretty great coverage, so I think you're only going to need 2 coats with this one. And that's 2 coats of Time for a NAPA. And the next one I have is Malibu Peer Pressure, and referring to the pier at the beach. And this one they describe as a cotton candy pink. This one is not quite original. There's quite a few colors like this in any nail brands that you can think of, but it's got a nice formula and it's a pretty pink. I liked it. I just have a lot of pinks like this in my collection. And this one surprised me though. It's quite bright when you put it on. So that's going to be the thing that's telling to see if it's different than other polishes, to see how bright it is compared to others. It really surprised me when I put it on how bright it was. I'm looking forward to it, but it's not super original. I don't know if you really need this one in your collection. Anyway, let's get into the swatch for it. And here's the first coat of Malibu Peer Pressure, and as you can see, it's quite bright, vibrant color. And it's almost opaque in one. It's a little bit streaky, so I'm going to go ahead and do 2, and great coverage in 2. The formula on this one's pretty great. And that's 2 coats. And then I have Santa Monica Beach Peach, and this is a straight up bright orange. It's really pretty. It's a cream, but it's a little bit of a crelly formula. There's a lot of oranges that they released in the spring. I think there was 2, not a lot, there was 2. But this is probably my least favorite out of the 3 that they have for this season. So I think I would prefer the other oranges in the spring collection, the Fiji one. And I have a review of that Fiji collection, and I'll put a link to that below if you want to check it out. And I also have a separate one for the Ulta exclusive polishes, and one of the oranges is in that one, so you want to check that out too. So I'll put the link for that. But it's pretty. It's really bright. I don't know. Check it out. See if you like it. Let's get into the swatch for it. And here's the first coat of Santa Monica Beach Peach, and this one is kind of messing up in my camera. It's not quite true to color. It's a little more red tone, just slightly, but I'm going to go ahead and do 2 coats. The formula on this is quite kind of foamy and thick, so you have to be careful with your application, and it's quite jelly as well. So that's 2 coats of Santa Monica Beach Peach. And then we have GPS I Love You. I actually really like this formula. It's a really pretty berry color. Not too original, but it's pretty. I love these berries. They're my favorite type of pink, so I don't know what else to say about it, but it looked good on, but it's not quite original. So let's get into the swatch for it. And here's the first coat of GPS I Love You. I love that name. It's so great, and it really has a really good formula. It is going to need 2 coats. And it's a perfect balance of jelly and cream, and I love it. And that's 2 coats of GPS I Love You. And then I have Me, My Selfie, and I love this name as well, and it's a bright orange coral polish. It's got a fantastic formula. It is similar to other ones. It's really close to it's really close to FPF XXX or 30, however you want to say it. That one leans a little more pink, and I think I like that one slightly better, but this one's beautiful. When you put it on, it's really bright and super summery. It's perfect for summer. And if you're looking for a good orangey coral, this would be a good one to pick up. And let's get into a swatch for it. And here's the first coat of Me, My Selfie, and I, and as you can see, it's this gorgeous corally color and really great formula. I am going to do 2 coats though, and this is the second coat. And again, it's the same formula as that Santa Monica Beach Peach. You just need to be careful in your application. It's a little bit foamy and thick, but that's 2 coats of Me, My Selfie, and I. This one is This Is Not Wine Country, and it's WHINE for wine, and I love that. So it talks about going up in wine country, and this one is a jelly formula, which I think is perfect for wine because it goes on like wine. It's just a really beautiful jelly polish. And I've been craving jelly polishes lately, so this was a fun surprise to see that it was a straight up jelly. I think I'll be wearing this summer. I love the squishiness that you get out of polishes like that. They're definitely going to take a few more coats, but I think it's worth it. And sometimes you can see the nail lines. I don't know if that would bother people, but that's just the nature of the polish. Let's get into the swatch for it. Here's the first coat of This Is Not Wine Country. As you can see, it is this great squishy jelly formula, and so it's definitely going to need a few coats. This is 2. It does darken a little bit, I noticed, as you use it, but I think I did 3 on my other ones. So there you can see 2 and 3 coats of This Is Not Wine Country. And then we have Sweet Caramel Sundae, and I'm not sure what the reference is to this. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know everything about California, but I'm not sure what the reference is. But it's a beautiful rose gold metallic polish with some shimmer in there, some gold shimmer. I thought for sure it would be like the exact same as Worth a Pretty Penny, but actually that one is quite a bit more shimmery, but they're the same color tone, and I'll have that comparison shot up on my blog. But it's really pretty. The formula is really nice. It's pretty much a one coater. I like to always do two, but you can pretty much get it opaque in one. It's really beautiful, and rose gold is always a win. Let's get into the swatch for it. And here's the first coat of Sweet Caramel Sundae. As you can see, it's this gorgeous shimmery polish with a great formula. You can probably get it opaque in one coat. You can see some of those metallic lines, so just be careful in your application, and that's one coat. And then we have Don't Take Yosemite for Granite, and I love it. It's not granted for granite like the mountains, and it's pretty. You know, this one doesn't look like anything in the bottle. It's a purpley taupe with some metallic shimmer, but when you get it on your nail, it's just so pretty, and the color tone is awesome. Like, I just love these purpley taupes, and I was really excited about this one. I don't know if I'll wear it in summer, maybe fall. I think it's has a little more of a fall vibe to me, but I'll definitely be wearing it. It's pretty close to Warm Me Up as far as the shimmer that's in it, but that one's definitely brown, and this one's more of a gray purple taupe. It's really pretty. I love this one. This is another favorite for me out of the collection. And let's get into the swatch for it. Here's the first coat of Don't Take Yosemite for Granite, and it's gorgeous, gorgeous color. Not quite opaque in one coat, so I'm going to go ahead and do two. But after that second coat, it's just beautiful. And that shimmer's perfect. It's not too streaky, but you need to be careful when you paint. And that's two coats of Don't Take Yosemite for Granite. And last we have To the Mouse House We Go, and I love the reference to Disney. It's a straight up jelly red polish. It's really pretty. It's a jelly. Of course, you can see the nail line. I think even with three coats, I could kind of see my nail line. So I don't know. I prefer them to be have a little more coverage, but it's pretty. It's a squishy red polish, which is perfect for summertime. If you like jellies, this would be a good one to pick up. And let's get into the swatch for it. Here's the first coat of To the Mouse House We Go. It's this beautiful jelly red polish. And again, it's going to be a little bit sheer, but you can do as many coats as you want to. I could still see the nail line at two coats, but this is two coats of To the Mouse House We Go. Okay, so these are my favorites. Excuse Me Big Sur, because it's pretty much original. And I love Time for a Napa, this beautiful kind of soft but yet bright coral. And Don't Take Yosemite for Granted. Those are definitely my favorites from the collection, but I'm sure I'll be wearing most of these this summer, and some of them for sure will pop up in my summer favorites. Also, if you haven't checked out my spring favorites, I will put a link to that down below. I've started it. I'm a little bit slow this year. I'm trying to catch up, but I picked 10 polishes and I do a nail design for each one. And it's fun to follow along, so check that video out. Okay, I hope you guys have a good day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.